Hello, my friends. TeresaLouise here. Welcome to Sunday Sew and Chat. It is the 13th. So, in case you needed to know that. Hello, hello, everybody in the chat. We have Joyce, Kathy, and Linda, Melina. Good to see you. I notice there's a few people live right now, but you know, it is what it is. What are you going to do, right? Just do the best you can every single day. Hello, Linda. So, wow, it has been a busy day, and I mean to tell you, it is hot outside today. Too hot. What is hot, do you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked me that. 90? Yeah, 90 is too hot. I like, 75-ish, nothing over 80. Yes, I'm just used to it being cooler. So, hey, Joan. Hi, Donna B. So we had some excitement here today. Yeah, it, it was sad too. So I'll just wait a few minutes and make sure we have a few people here before I tell my story. In the meantime, let's see. I talked about the weather. It is a beautiful day. Luckily, in a couple of days, it's going to cool off again, and we're going to get some rain, which I really hope we do because we really could use the rain. Uh, and let's see. Hello, Linda Dollar. Good to see you too. Hi, Nita. 75 and rain here in Springfield. Oh, I'll trade. Linda says today's the first in a while we've hit 90, but that's because it's raining hard and lots of thunder. Yeah, and I think you're down in Florida, right? Hi, Polly. Yes, I'm definitely thinking about moving. Yep, still thinking about it. And I've been working on, okay, I've been thinking about decluttering, yard sale, like a moving sale. And so I should have been doing that kind of stuff already. And I have been kind of decluttering here, like I started in the kitchen and the bathrooms and stuff like that. But it's time to do another reclutter because, I have several kitchen appliances that I just don't use anymore. I have a really nice juicer machine. I never use that. When I first got it, I used it all the time. Now I don't hardly use it at all. I think it's because of the lack of variety of vegetables that we have here and fruit. But anyway, so that stuff really needs to go. If you haven't used it in a couple of years, chances are you're not going to use it, right? So, Wisconsin, 83, humid, air quality alert. Tomorrow will be in the 90s and Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 90s here too. And then the following day is supposed to be somewhere in the 60s because it's going to cool off and rain. So keep your fingers crossed for that. Hi, Rita. Yeah, I've been thinking about that Instapot. I've heard a lot of good things about those, and my brother has one, and his wife, and he says they use it all the time. That she just loves it. So I've been thinking about that. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Mary. Sorry I missed you there. 91 in Oregon. Ooh, 95 later. Yeah, that's hot. Yeah, if I was still living in the place I had been in Oregon, which is Eastern Oregon, it would probably be like 105, which is way too hot. Hot and dry, 96 in Colorado. That doesn't sound good either. So it's warm upstairs. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to last before I melt. The dog is panting. So, so today I will show you the quilt that I've been working on the last month or so, Snowdrift. I got the main body of that put together, so I just need the borders and kind of worked on it a little bit yesterday when I was live with Katie, and I think I know what borders I'm going to use. So ready to sew though. Well, after I get them cut. Hi, Katie. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about making dinner. The standing, waiting, and watching. 90 in Denver. Brr. Hey, Joe. How's it going? We keep getting bit at night, like from mosquitoes and stuff. And I got bit on the head a couple of weeks ago, and the lumps are still there. They still itch. So if you see me doing this, that's why. I got two bites. Hi, Geraldine. Yeah, the border's not very exciting, but it does match. So there's that. All right. I think there's enough people here for me to, yeah, I got 40 people. Okay. All right. So this is kind of a sad story. Well, not kind of. It is a sad story. Uh, Brandon went out for a walk with the dogs earlier and this morning, and he comes back and he said, "We have a dead deer out in the field out here. Would you call somebody?" He said that he couldn't tell how it died, but it didn't look like it had been there very long, and it was a female. And he said it looked to him like it was probably a mama, but he didn't see the baby anywhere, And I say baby, the fawn, and they should be about 3 weeks, maybe a month old now, maybe older. So they're not really, like newborn or anything like that. So I ended up calling the state police, which I found out is what you're supposed to do. And then they dispatch it. And I had to wait, I don't know, about an hour, I guess, for somebody to call me back. And he did. Luckily, the guy of the Idaho Fish and Game guy wasn't too far away. So he was here within about a half hour. Um, The reason why we call, especially when the animal is that close to the house, is it's important to find out why they died, because there are so many diseases, and they like to know if that disease is coming to this area. Or maybe it could be a predator. So it's, it would be good to know if you got a wolf in the area, or a cougar, or a bear, you know, or did somebody shoot it out of season? You know, there's that too. And that does happen. So that's some of the reasons why you would want to call. And the other reason is Brandon wanted it out of there because it was only about, I'd say maybe 100 yards from the house. And he didn't want our dogs going and getting into it. And, plus it would smell and, all those things. So anyway, the guy came out and, in fact, he just left about a half hour ago. Very nice guy. And he is going to take it and do a biopsy on it. And then they send it in for further testing. He thinks it's been there for at least 24 hours, maybe longer. But so he flipped it over, and which Brandon didn't do because he didn't want to mess with it, right? Because you do not want to contaminate the scene of the crime, right? Anyway, he flipped it over, and there were marks on the animal, like something had clawed it, or, all right. But we still don't know for sure what killed it. Now, his theory is that it was a bear, and that the bear probably killed the fawn, and the mother was trying to protect the fawn, and the bear swiped at her, and then she ran off because she could no longer protect the fawn, and it probably was too late, and so she ran off and laid down and died. So he said the number one predator in this area is a bear, and they go after the fawns just like that. So, especially this time of year. So that's his number one guess. But it still could be a cougar. But if it had been a cougar, there would have been damage to the neck, and I don't think the cougar would have left a big deer. They will drag them up into the trees, or they'll bury them, or they'll come back. And it could have been a wolf, but I don't think it was. Anyway, he's gonna take it back to the facility and do his autopsy, and then he's gonna let us know. But it doesn't look like it died from any kind of wasting disease or anything like that. So later on this afternoon, when it cools off, now we have a section up above us, above our property, that is all Forest Service, and it's very shady in there. There's a lot of trees, and there's water, and and Brandon and I are going to go look up in there and see, because a lot of times the deer and elk hang out up in there. So, and I'm trying to keep my ears open for the sound of a baby deer crying for its mom, just in case. But if that mama deer has been gone, passed away a day and a half ago, I would have heard the baby. And if the baby was alive, I would have heard it by now, I think. So anyway, that is what has been going on this morning, today. Yeah. No, a wolf doesn't just kill an animal if there's something wrong with it. I'm sorry to tell you that. But sometimes they just kill for the fun of it. And that's been documented. They'll go through a herd and just kill and then leave it, go off somewhere else. Why they do that, I don't know. But and we did have quite a few wolf sightings around here a couple of months ago. So it could be a wolf, but to me, the mark on the a wolf paw is pretty big, but a bear paw is bigger, and that's what it looked like to me was, you know, a bear. But I thought it was very interesting that he said that a bear is the number one predator of deer, so especially the fawn. Oh, right. Prove to the pack. That's one of the reasons. Anyway, that was sad. Hi, Jamie. And thank you for putting in channels. I appreciate it. Hello, Randy. Yes, they do. And they poop on the road too. But, that's the other thing. I haven't seen any bear scant, but I haven't seen any wolf either. Um, and I haven't heard of any cougars being around, but that doesn't mean they're not. But I also kind of wondered if maybe she got hit by a car. I think we'll find out more once he does the autopsy. So, uh, because there were a lot of people down at the VFW here, not too far from us. I think they were, I don't know, partying for sure. So she could have got hit by a car. And if that's the case, the baby could still be around. And I don't think they're old enough yet to make it on their own. So, yeah, I'll definitely, when we go out, I'll be packing. So, yeah, that's the one good thing about Idaho. Uh, you you can have protection. So, yeah, I definitely, when we go walking or, we go fishing, we go huckleberrying, whatever it is, especially around here with all the wolves and stuff. Yeah, we definitely, but he said they have a lot of bears out at this place called Red River, which is probably about 20 miles from us or so. So, but like I said, I haven't seen any signs of bear, but you never know. You just never know. So, more investigation needs to be done. Oh, you heard a bear got a fox? That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, those bears, they like to get small animals. So, and Randy, everything poops in the the woods. And the other thing, a wolf and also coyotes will draw your dogs out. So you have to be really careful about that. I've heard a lot of sad stories about when they're really hungry, you know, they'll come right in and grab a dog or a cat or whatever. So anyway, so that's kind of what was going on this morning or just a little bit ago. All right, I didn't show you guys I'll show you this package I got. And let's see, we have Joe. I said hello to Rita. Is there anybody else? Hi, Catherine. Hey, Jess. I said hello to Jamie. Hi, Judy. Okay, I think I said hello to Shelly. All right, so this is Primitive Gatherings. It comes every other month, and I pay $45, and that includes the shipping. And yeah, so Primitive Gatherings. Now I have already opened it because I showed it over on Katie's channel the other day. So, all right. I will show you. It comes with, I don't think I showed this to you guys yet, have I? Usually if I've showed it already, then I put everything away that's in there. This is June, and it comes with a little sheet that tells you about everything. So there's that. And, okay, the main pattern in the box is called Itty Bitty Utility Unity. Looks like that. And it came with 2 charm packs. So that is really nice. So the main fabric, and the fabric is called Collection for a Cause, Unity. And I can't read the name of the maker. I think it's Howard Nelson, but I don't know for sure. And that doesn't say on there, so. And yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty. So some pretty colors in there. And then this one is a variety of lights. Very light. That won't come up on there. So it's like cream on cream. Not really white, but kind of cream. Okay, and I'll need 2.5 yards for the background and then 3.5 yards for the backing. And yeah, it's very cute. 56 by 56. So there's that. And then they're doing a block of the every other month. But I think you have to, there's 2 blocks every time you get those, or 4, actually. No. Okay. This time, you need to make 4 of these, 3 of these, 16 of these, and 4 of these. So quite a bit. It's a mystery quilt. So called Thrive. And it came with these fabrics. So they're kind of like Civil War fabrics. So there's the first one, with, blue. And then here's a kind of a green. This reminds me of upholstery. Upholstery on a wingback chair. And then this one is black background. And then there's a maroon one. So this amount of fabric equals a fat quarter, but it's cut from salvage to salvage. And I think it is 6 inches by width of fabric. So those are pretty. If you like Civil War, that's one thing about primitive gathering. They're kind of Civil War, folky. So I haven't started any of these, but I am saving the fabric. I don't know if I'm going to do this or not. I think I kind of got tired of doing stars, right? But all right, and then we got this really cute little cleaning brush. Super soft. So you can, the little dusting brush, right? Or I suppose you could use it for makeup if you wanted to. But I like the color of it. Very cute. Hi, June. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Jean. It does look like a poster fabric. Yeah. Hi, Suzanne. Okay, so we got that. That's nice. We don't usually get that many notions from them. So then we got this. This is cool. It's a book stand or pattern stand, right? And so you can stand it up there and then Jamie likes it too. All right. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I like this. Like we got a little pattern stand from Fat Quarter Shop, and that thing, the way it holds it, makes your pattern go like this. And you can't, if it's a book, you can't use that at all. But yeah, I kind of like that. So I think 2 notion things that are pretty useful, right? And this is not plastic. It is like tin. Sounds like tin. And it's adjustable, so you can have it, lower or higher. And it says primitive gatherings on it. So I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool to get some of those stickers and put stickers on here like butterflies and stuff like that? You could do your own beautification, right? So I do like that, and I also like that it folds down and you can put it away. See how thin that is? Let me see what it says about it. I don't know if they have these available for sale or not. Well, it doesn't say, but you could go over to their website and look if you're interested. Okay, now this is a little disappointing that my candy is missing from this box. Okay, now I do look forward to the caramels. I did not get my caramels. Because this treat is known for their rich, buttery flavor and melt in your mouth smoothness that makes them irresistible, which is true. And they do not stick to my teeth, which is another good thing. So I was thinking I might call them or send them an email and say, hey, folks, I didn't get my 2 caramels. Do you think I can have 4 next time? Don't you think they should send me 4? I think they should send me 6, just because I was so disappointed. I like that idea. Okay, so now you have seen the box. I thought it was a good box this time. I'm not disappointed at all, except for the caramels. I liked it better than the one from Back Order Shop this last time. And now I can just put everything away. Hello, Susan. Oh, you did? Bought a new to me sewing machine, but it's very old. Yeah, Geraldine says they are delicious. Yes, they are. Yes, Judy. They should send me a bag. I totally agree. I just say, hey, since you're sending them to me anyway, how about just go ahead and send me a bag of those? Did I say hello to Suzanne? I think I did, but just in case. Hello. I mean, they have to mail it out anyway. They might as well, you know. All right. So I can put that stuff up. I'll put this over here with my other cleaning stuff. And then this, my little pattern gilly, I think I'm going to put it right over here. There's a good empty spot where I could grab it easily. All right. So what else I do this week, past week? Well, I worked on Snowdrift, the quilt, and I worked on the horse, and I messed around trying to get my long arm working properly so that I could quilt. And for whatever reason, something, I don't know. Oh, was it yesterday? Yeah, we went fishing yesterday. So I'll tell you, we got Brandon caught a fish and a trout. It was about, about 8 inches maybe. The one I caught was pretty small, too small. So I threw him back, and my reel on my pole was not working properly, so I just had to quit. And Brandon got a few more hits, but then it started warming up, so we just went ahead and stopped fishing. And we went up to the huckleberry patch, and there was no huckleberries. So we just turned around and came home. Wish those spots would quit itching. Urgh. Yeah, so the road trip was good, Kathy. Road trip was good. Um, it was good to get out. God, they're driving me crazy. I hate that. I should have put some Benadryl on there. Oh, Amazon has them? Oh, I'll be darned. They must have got them from there and then put their own sticker on it. Oh, it was really nice to get out. Did you say what kind you have? Oh, really, Susan? Okay. It might look something like the machine I have behind me, the black one. Okay, cool. A featherweight. Mine is a featherweight. It was born in October of 51, I think. Yeah, the dogs had really a lot of fun going down to the swimming hole and stuff too. So, I think uh, trying to decide what would be easier. Should I flip the camera and leave the quilt up on the design wall, or should I bring the quilt over here? I'm thinking I should flip the camera because that way you could, see it, right? Of course, you're going to see all my mess there too. Oh yeah, vinegar. So does Windex. Hello, Prepped. How's it going? Hello, calming nature sounds. How's it going? Well, I'm glad you finally got one. Okay, get ready. I'm going to pick the camera up. Yes, flip the camera. Okay. See, all it takes is one person to answer. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, how's that? Okay, so it's all sewed together. So don't ask me to make any changes to it because it's not going to happen. That's the layout that I chose. And then the fabric that's hanging up there is uh, on the right is the one I picked possibly for the borders, which is the same fabric that the teeny, um, oh yeah, the teeny block. The fabric is in the quilt. So yeah, I changed it. Thank you. So I'm just trying to decide now if I want to do a white border around the whole thing and then put the light blue border on, or just do the blue border. So I'm going to go move that blue closer. Oh, I kind of like that. Hmm. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, matches the pinwheel. Thank you, Jean. That was the word that I was looking for. For some reason, I could just not think of pinwheel. Okay, Susan, great, thank you. So anyway, of course, if I added the white, it would help make the quilt a little bit bigger. I will probably leave it hanging up there for a little while until I decide. I also thought I could finish that outer pinwheel in the border. So I would do a white border with, the little blue, the rest of the pinwheel. That might look kind of cool too. I might do that. What do you think of that? You know what I'm talking about? Hi, Sheila. We have a lot of people saying white and blue. Okay, we have 70 watching. Okay. So there is that. That would look more finished. Yeah, that's true. Hi, Terry. And that would give me a little more sewing time on that quilt too. And I do have a lot of those 2.5 inch pieces, so I could make all the pinwheel extras that I need. So there's that too. Yeah. Yeah, I have quite a bit of it that's already cut into 2.5 inch squares. So I should have enough. I'll need to go, I'll need to do a count. And I've seen quilts done that way before with the pinwheel finished out in the sashing. And I like the way that looks. So yeah, I think maybe I'll do that because I have plenty of white, plenty of that blue. I like that idea. Okay, I'll work on that later. All right. The block itself, I have the pattern. Let me flip the camera back around and where is the pattern? I think I might have left it over there. I guess I left it over here. I need to spend an hour cleaning. I have a mess. Did you see it? So they put the white border on. They don't finish the pinwheel. And of course, you can see they have the dark blue border also, but I don't have anything that looks good. It is, there's a unit. Let me show you. It's a unit. And then you make 4 of those for one block and you rotate it. So I think that's it. I'll go in the upper left-hand corner. That is the unit for the block. You make 4 of those and then you rotate it. And then this is the block. And so those little half square triangles come together and make your pinwheel. Yeah, it's a puzzle. From the unit, you never would have guessed that was the block you're going to get, right? Okay. Now, did you guys want to see the progress on the horse, or I can just start sewing? Another fly up here. Yes, on the horse. Okay. All right, so we're going to have to walk you over there. So let me just give me a minute. You know, maybe I'll work on the horse for a little while. Okay, here we go. Let's see. All right, get ready. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move the camera. Oh, sorry about that light. Close up of my mess. And then there is the horse. I cannot get the, there, okay. Still got a lot to do, but it is coming along. So there's a bunch of spots here, like that is supposed to be darker fabric in through here. All right, and then I'm going to put you up here. Here you can look at thread for a minute. More fabric. There's some of my fabric stash. My thread. All right, I'm going to flip you around. And then I will have to bring over the other computer. I smashed my camera legs so they fell down. Oh, that's not good. So let me go get the other laptop. Yeah, I think I'm going to work on the horse for a little while. That way I can think about the quilt layout for a little bit longer. Okay, I made it. Now I just need to get everything set up, turned on. Let there be light. Okay, and kind of straightened up a little bit. I did work on this for a little while yesterday. And put my hair up. All right, let's see what you guys are saying before I get. Okay, Terry. Thank you, Kathy. Okay. Now, in most collage quilting, it is not similar to applique in that you don't sew each piece down. Now, there may be some makers out there that do that. But the ones that I have watched, no, you do not sew around each piece. Oh my word, can you imagine having to do that? Because, you know, some of these pieces are pretty darn small. Uh, what a lot of people do is like a free motion stippling stitch, or, you know, it's a meander, but it's really small. So it's, you know, or they thread paint, or they just uh, use a better glue or more glue maybe and put it on your fabric. I have not decided which technique I am going to do yet. But so you do overlap your fabrics. So you need them to overlap like not probably an eighth of an inch, maybe a little bit less, but they do need to be overlapping. Because when I get ready to lift this should come off pretty much all in one piece. Um, Now, I am thinking that when I move down to the rest of the horse, I don't, I want to, I'm going to leave a gap because I don't want to have to pull this all off. It'll be humongous, and I know it's going to break apart. So, uh, yeah, I'm going to have to be very careful. And so, anyway, you'll see when we get to that point too. Oh, really? She said, "Oh, okay. That's the reason I haven't done much collage quilting. I thought the sewing all the pieces down is a nightmare." Yeah, that would be a nightmare. That would be a bad nightmare. Um, some people put their collages in a frame, but um, you still put it together like you do a quilt, in that you have a back, batting, and then the top, and then you quilt it and trim it up, put a border on or a binding around it, and then just you could put like a hanging sleeve on it and just hang it on the wall like you do some quilts and stuff, right? Other people put it on a canvas. I've thought about that. Um, and some people put it behind glass in a like in a frame. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. We'll see. All right. Let me see. I think I'm going to move you up here a little bit closer. There. How's that? Yeah, that looks better. And then, there's even after I get all these pieces down, there's still going to be a lot of work to do because I'm going to come back in with the final touch-up pieces, make the more long, thin pieces for the mane, make sure that I got the eye the way I want it. So there'll be a lot of uh, stuff to do to it. So, all right. I hope you guys don't mind if I just work on this course for a while instead of sewing. I'm starting to feel a little obsessed with the horse. Like I want to work on it more and more. I keep thinking like I want to get to the next color, the next shade, right? Like I'm tired of working with the lights. All right. Um, the other thing I did was I cut myself out just a whole bunch of little pieces from all of the colors, and I have them down here at the bottom, and which actually has made things go a bit faster. Uh, so I kind of like that technique. And then if it still isn't the shape I want, then I can still cut it down a little bit more. And I just kind of move it around until I find a spot I think it's going to look good. Or where it's going to fit the best. Yeah, I like that up there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can hear Brandon down there. I think he's making lunch or something. Some of these colors look more like they'd be for the next color shade. Yeah, it's getting pretty warm up here. Not sure how much longer I'm going to last. I think I'm definitely going to have to get the air conditioner set up. Just a little too warm. Different color in there. I'm so patient. Yeah, sometimes I am, but I'm not patient when I'm like waiting for somebody else, like waiting at the doctor's office, or I'm ready to go somewhere and the other person isn't ready. I get really impatient with that. Not sure if I like that piece there or not. I think they would win a prize. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, no, I haven't entered anything here in the state fair. Um, but I am thinking about it. I have entered my other artwork in a state fair, like my oil paintings and stuff like that. And I got quite a few ribbons. Yeah, which was awesome. And the biggest comment I got on those was they liked the technique that I was doing. I did a lot of animal paintings and stuff. So uh, I have thought about putting some of these in the fair. I think that would be fun. It would be a lot of fun. Yeah, and when I did that state fair thing, that was a lot of years ago, like in the 90s. That was a long time ago. Actually sold like I think 3 paintings from that, and then um, did quite got quite a few commissions off of it too. So that was kind of cool. I did a um, I did a painting on a saw blade for somebody, and that was really cool. And it was a really long saw blade. You know, those old antique ones that they used to use for logging or sawing. It was like a two-man saw, right? And I did the Four Seasons all the way across it. And it was like a farmland scene. It was really cool. That was a lot of fun to do. One of the things I try to do too is if the fabric has a pattern in it at all, I try and think about the animal hair and what direction it might be flowing and that kind of thing, and try to use the fabric like that, if that makes sense. Um, I guess the other thing too, if I was gonna put something in the fair, I would almost want it to be something that was my own pattern, my own design. You know what I mean? Um, and of course, if I put like this horse in there, I would give Emily Taylor uh, her due, you know, and say that this pattern is from Emily Taylor from Collage Quilting, and this is my take on her pattern, right? Because I would never want to claim somebody else's design as my own. That would just feel like a big no-no. All right. It's hard for me to sit down and do this. I feel like I do better when I'm standing up over it. Or I could just see it better. And I like to get some different shapes in this, not just round or oblong, but sometimes I put like a triangle there or whatever. Just making sure I'm still live. Yeah, looks like it. Are you guys getting tired of watching me work on this horse? Let me know in the comments if you would like me to do something different on the live. Okay. Hello, unknown. Love looking at the horse. Oh, thank you. Polly says, I love watching you work on the horse. It's fascinating. Watching is very relaxing. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Okay. Well, yeah, would be relaxing. Just think how relaxing it would be if I could play music. Then you could kick back, lay back in your bed or your recliner and just watch the horse come together and listen to beautiful music. Love watching me choose the pieces. Awesome, Mary. Thank you. That is good. Let's see. Oh, perfect. I love it when a piece just works, you know? It's like finding the right puzzle piece. And then you just have to hope that you didn't lose your spot where you were going to put it. Okay, I think that looks fine. Things are getting filled in here. Slowly but surely, coming along. Might need to cut myself some more pieces. Mm-hmm. Where do I want it? That is the question. I kind of like it there. I'm going to try it there. And then I just want to make sure I'm overlapping all around. And I have a little piece right here that I missed. It's a little triangle, so I'm going to take a little piece of purple and put it right there, because I've been kind of doing the purples into like little triangles here and there, which I think for some reason I like that. I don't know why. Yeah, this one will work. I think it kind of gives it more texture. Oh, that little triangle is perfect size. There. I like that. Hey Valerie, how you doing? Oh, cool. Thank you, Valerie. Icing on the cake. Sounds yummy. Linda says, I get excited when you work on the horse and I see more and more of it coming to life. Yes, exactly. I do too. We've really gone a long ways. The purple is a nice pop of color. Yep, I think so. I'm just trying to kind of spread it out a little bit. I'm trying not to get too much. I might have to come back in here. Like I have, this is purple, 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 but it's a different shade of purple. I'm kind of thinking I need you know, another little triangle in here somewhere. But so I'm trying not to overdo it with that purple, because the purple that I'm using doesn't have much of a pattern in it. So it almost is like a solid, and I don't want to use too much of that. So, okay. Let me see. Here's like another little teeny spot that got missed by all the fabrics around it. So I could put like just a little teeny dot of purple right there, or even blue. Oh, here's a little blue one, might work. Let's see. So I'm just, this is why I say all the sizes of my scraps, is because you never know where you might need a little teeny piece. And this little teeny piece of blue, which it does have a little spot of purple in it, I think will fit just fine right there. If I don't burn myself. Yeah. Let's see. Sounds like Brandon's gonna go for a walk. Sure, he's taking the dogs. I don't know about Willa. I kind of like this one here. Let's see. And get it to fit. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that'll fit there. So, is anybody sewing today? If you are, what you working on? Inquiring minds would like to know. Yeah, that looks good right there. So, gotta get these filled in. Those filled in. And I need some different colors. Okay. This one. So I think I'm gonna have to cut something. So that color. Or something else like that. Well, I think this is too dark. Yeah. This color is going to have to go in the next shades, like over here, because it's somewhat dark. That might be a good spot for it right there. But I'm going to wait until I get those shades out. Okay. So I was cutting some fabrics off of this. You see how I went in and I'm getting the lights out, but every now and then I'm going, when I'm cutting, capturing a little bit of the leaf into it so that I don't just have this soft light. So I have a few of those out here on the horse already. And then when I move to the next color, I can come in and capture more of this dark area in here. I am good. I just came home from a picnic. I did eat 2 brownies and I enjoyed myself. Oh, that's awesome, Valerie. Brownie sounds good, but I do not want to heat up the kitchen. I just finished finding a wall hanging while listening to. Awesome, TeresaLouise. It's always feels so good when you get a finish. Teresa, hello. She says, "Oh my goodness, Teresa, that's gorgeous. Thank you." I love Primrose Cottage cross stitch. Oh yeah, those are nice. Kathy, still cross stitching Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage. Awesome. I'm working on some wedding ring paper piecing. I started from Laura Lynn on Mom and Pop. Took time out to have dinner, relaxing, watching you paint. Awesome. I cannot believe I can see the chat from this far away. I mean, it's like 2.5 feet from me. My eyes must be getting better. Or maybe the light isn't glaring on it. Seems like when I have it over there by the sewing machine, um, maybe it's the light that is glaring on the screen. Interesting. Okay, so I need to cut out a little bit more of this one. And then I also have, okay, this is the same design basically, only, you know, this one's in blue. So I did the same thing. I just come in here if I need some more light areas, but still trying to pick up a little bit of this dark here and there so that my piece has a little more character, texture, what have you. So I'm using these. And yeah, so I think I'll cut a few more of those out. And because I'm running out of pieces to choose from. And I don't know about you, but I like to have variety. And again, I just cutting these out willy-nilly. There's no set rule. Um, from what I've seen, all of the collage quilters, you know, have different rules or whatever that they go off by of how they like to do it, or you know what sizes. Sometimes if I think a big piece would look really good, you know, bigger, like for instance, okay, I'm making sure you can see this. Okay, this is a leaf, right? Goes down like that. What if I cut this shape of this leaf out and then I used it on the angle of the horse's jaw? So I guess I kind of try to think about things like that too. Is there some way that I can use this shape that I'm looking at to enhance or show direction of a uh, design? You know what I mean? So in this case, instead of cutting out little teeny pieces like I'm doing, I mean, you know, these are pretty small. I would be cutting out this great big piece, and that's okay too. So there's no really rule on what size to cut. I say if you can find something and a pattern that will work for where you want to put it, then you. So, um, yeah, I don't have too much brown in my color palettes for this horse. So that's the other thing I got to think of. So if I do end up using this piece of brown, then I will want to bring more brown in here and there. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just going to be shocking. It's going to really stick out like a sore thumb. But I guess that's the other thing to consider is, you know, and I know I've said this several times, when I pick up a piece, I try to use that same color 3 or 4 times some within the project before I move on to the next color. I was at the Prospect Park in Brooklyn. Oh, nice. It was perfect. That is awesome. I'm glad you had a good time, Valerie. So this, I was just, you know, using this as an example, but that might be too bold because a lot of my colors that I'm using right now are muted, I would say, except for maybe the purples, but they're still kind of muted. And if I use that, it just might be too bold, but I will still think about it. But see, now here, oh, this might be good. Instead of the brown, I could use this blue one. That would go more with what I have going on already. So that's a thought. The only problem is well, might not be a problem. I was going to say it's going the wrong direction, but that's not necessarily true because this is right here's the angle of the jaw. might work. And I like that color. So I will have to keep that in mind. And I really like all of these colors right in here. That is going to work really good for part of this horse. Hi, Carol. I'm a new follower. Well, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Was wondering where you buy your batiks. We have three quilt shops that are within 2 hours of where I live. So I always check those places. And then I bought a whole bunch of batiks from the So Yeah brothers off of YouTube. Uh, a couple of years ago, they were doing a batik sale. I bought a whole bunch off of from them from that, and I buy it when I see that it's on sale online, like Back Quarter Shop or Missouri Star Quilt Company. So a variety of places. Now, one of the local quilt shops, um, it's about an hour or almost 2 hours from me. That lady loves batiks. So her shop is filled with batiks. And sometimes I just ask, like, do they have any scraps? Uh, I've gotten scraps from a lot of people. And like, if you have scraps, like this size, or or like 5x5, that's good. Those are good scraps. Yeah, and I bought like a, a scrap package from So Yeah that had all batiks in it. And yeah, so that's pretty much where I get them. One of the places up in Grangeville, they have little fat quarter bundles that are batiks, and they were actually, I think they run a quit selling them, and so they were on sale. I got a bunch that way. And then I've had some friends that mail them to me. Missouri Star runs a lot of sales on batiks. Oh, there you go. Valerie likes the blue and teal leaf. Yeah, me too. And I think that goes well too. So I might do that. I'm going to save that leaf for that if I. I'm thinking about joining the Petite Back Quarter um, subscription a month by, I think that's every month, or it could be every other month, from the Fat Quarter Shop, and maybe stop getting the So Sampler box. You know, I don't think that they have ever put batiks in the sew sampler box. Does anybody know? I think I've been getting that for over 3 years. I think this is my 4th year, and I don't remember ever seeing any, um, batiks. I wonder why that is. Do they think that not enough people would like batik in the box? I mean, they do Tula Pink, and I don't know that there's enough people that like Tula Pink that, you know, are happy when they get it because I see that for sale quite a bit on the Sew Sampler Swap on Facebook. So I'm just cutting out fabric. That's all I'm doing. Hi, Anita. Oh, okay. Kimberly doesn't like batiks. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Yes, I have made a lot of baby quilts that were made out of flannel, and it quilts up just like cotton does. I've never had any problem with it. I haven't had to make any adjustments to the sewing machine or the long arm when doing flannel. And I put flannel on the back of my quilts quite often. Uh, so I would just say, don't be afraid of it. You know, it's works pretty much the same. At least that's been my experience. Oh, that could be. Yeah, because you don't really need to starch um, batiks. You know, it still has a lot of sizing in it or whatever. And once you iron it back up, it batiks are pretty stiff without starch. I never starch batiks. Suzanne says she used flannel for the back of hers, and she hand quilt. Yeah, I have made quite a few baby quilts. Like I said, I always use the flannel because I just like flannel, baby flannel for babies. And yeah, honestly, really, I haven't had any problems with it at all. And I don't starch flannel either. Does anybody starch flannel? If you were gonna, if I was gonna starch flannel, I would do it on the back side. Um, okay, Suzanne thought that was funny. No, Jamie hasn't. Judy says no. Yeah, I wonder what kind of mess that would be. Well, it would wash out, so I don't think it would ruin the fabric. Do you guys? I don't starch flannel, but I do pre-wash the flannel. When I haven't pre-washed it for piecing the top, but I have washed the back, but not for any particular reason. I think it was just some flannel that I got from somewhere, uh, like a yard sale or something like that, and so I wanted to wash it before I used it. I would not wash any charm squares. No, do not pre-wash any pre-cuts. You're going to have a mess if you do that. I would not do it. Now, there might be somebody out there that would do it. I don't recommend it. For what one thing is a lot of times when we're using pre-cuts, like jelly roll, definitely do not pre-wash that. Oh my God, what a mess that would be. Um, you're using a pattern, and you're gonna that fabric is really gonna shrink. So you're no longer gonna have a charm square. You're gonna have like a 4 inch, maybe 4 by 4, or 4 and 1/8. Who knows what you're going to end up with? So that would mess up your pattern. Zigzag around the edges to help prevent fraying. Okay, that's a good idea. Do you have a lot of problem with flannel fraying? That's one thing I like about batiks is they don't seem to fray as much, which is really nice. And when I'm cutting these out, my scissors have little teeny serrate. They're serrated, really tiny, and so that really helps. Well, it's almost 3 o'clock. Hi, Crystal. How you doing? Good to see you. Boy, I'll tell you what. I had to, sorry, I had to get up for a minute, walk around. Um, the wasps are out in force. Yes, they are. Okay, I am looking for, oh, no wonder I can't find it. I was going to prep some more of these colors that I'm using. That's why I can't find them because, yeah, I need to clean this mess up. Okay, here they all are over here. More fabrics that need to be prepped. I need to prep this one, this one, this one, and this one. Meaning I need to press them. Look at this batik, you guys. Isn't that pretty? See, you could cut out flowers and use the flowers here and there on this horse. That would be cute. Oh, here they are. Found it. Sometimes I just really have to dig through. Oh, I have more of this. See, this was part of a fat quarter bundle. These were this one and this one. This was all. These were all part of one bundle. So all of those need to be prepped. So, there's an idea for you guys. If you're going to do a collage quilt, consider buying a bundle of coordinating colors, batiks or whatever. If you don't want to do batiks, then just do regular fabric. But if you buy the bundle, you're going to get colors that all go together. And especially when you're starting out, trying to pick your own colors can be difficult. So buying a pre-cut, you could even buy a pre-cuts of charm pack or layer cake. I don't think I would do the jelly roll, but maybe that might that might be okay. Um, since you're cutting these pieces up fairly small. Um, but yeah, so that would help you not have to pick out your own colors. And I would get at least 12 fat quarters in a bundle, maybe even closer to 16 would be nice. Depends on what size your project is going to be. So these all need prep. At least another strip of them. And so they need to be ironed. And then I need to iron the fusible onto the back. And then I cut them into about this size. And then I might cut it again, but you know, at least this size. I need this one too, my polka dotty one. Doo, doo, doo. That's why I could not find the fabric I was looking for. I thought I had more prepped, but I didn't. You know, if I leave those out, then I'll remember to prep them. You're sitting outside doing a little bonfire. Oh, nice. Uh, is it dark where you are? I don't think I would want a bonfire with the temperature I have outside right now. How long, uh, let's see, how long have I been working on the horse? I think I want to say I started a couple of months ago, but I started out just working on it on Sunday um, during the live. So I didn't put a lot of time into it. Um, I guess I should be keeping track of my hours. I have no idea at this point how many hours I have into the project. I spent a lot of time just setting it up too. Like I changed my whole way I do it several times. So finally, because I didn't like the little area I had, I ended up taking the storm window out of the bedroom window. And that's what I'm using right now is a storm window. And then I have it propped up on an easel. So it's, uh, you know, at an angle, right? And then I can put lights underneath it. So I can still see my pattern. And so far this is working for me. It would be nice to have a lighter weight window because this window is pretty darn heavy. And I'm just thinking about when I try to put it back in into the window, I'm going to have a heck of a time. I might have to get Brandon to help me because it's pretty heavy. I thought about getting one of those design or the light boards, but I'm not even sure if that would have been big enough for this project because this is pretty big. So just to show you, like, so I just cut out this piece here and I didn't just cut out the light. I picked up some of the dark pieces to have in there too. So that's what I kind of try to do when I'm cutting these fabrics. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do art collage with just solid fabric. Could be. I don't know. And so, I have pieces that are kind of shaped like this, pieces that are a little more round, um, pieces from other pieces. Okay. Thank you, Joe. Right now I am using Heat and Bond, lightweight. Um, Emily Taylor uses that Steam and Seam, um, the lightweight one. Yeah, I like my quilts to look crinkly after I wash them. Yep. What's the project for that one? Huh? Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Valerie. She said, your horse is a feed your soul project. Approximate time guess is good enough. Art and time limits don't mix well unless you are getting paid. That is true. So how would you ever put a value on this? You know, monetary, that is. That is, I think, harder to do when you are ma- enjoying something. Like, I don't know that by the time I get this done, that I would ever want to get rid of it. Uh, so, but you never know. Can't keep everything, right? Oh, that one fits like almost perfect. Looks pretty darn good. Like that. think that one will go good there. That's a keepsake project. Yes. Yes, I think so. And I got another little spot right here. So I don't think I want to do purple, but let's see what I have over here. Maybe I do have a purple piece. I don't know, that might just be too small. That'll be all right right there. Like he's got the purple pox. It's filling up. It's filling up. I lost one of my lights. I think that's too dark. So right there. This one might be better. Yeah, that one looks pretty good there. Thank you, Joe. She says, great color blending. I'm trying. I have this one up here. I like that. Let's see. Geez, if I would have made that just a little bit bigger, it would have been perfect right there. I'm trying to find a spot where it'll fit easily without me cutting it down anymore, and where it looks good. Ooh, I hear Brandon turned on the big fan. So we have a big fan that draws up the cool air from the basement. Hi, Lily. Yeah, I'm really making some progress. Coming right along. Show you what it looks like without the light. Looks quite a bit different without the light. I'm going to have to do some blending in here. Almost looks like I have a line going across the, which I can either do. Oh, I see. Part of it is I don't have the fabric in right here yet. So, because that's a different color shade. I should put one of the blues up there. That almost looks too, nah, this will be too white. I'll worry about shading at the end. I should have brought me up a snack. because I am getting hungry. Oh, that's a good idea, Kathy. Cook several meals ahead to eat this weekend. I just have to warm them up. Yeah, I'm going to just have hamburgers. That's pretty easy. The blues blend nicely with the gold. They do. I agree. I like that. Got some light spots up here I want to try to fill in. Let's see what I need. A small one here. This will work. Can you get that there? Need to start holding my finger in the spot because now I forgot where I was going to put it. I think that was it. No, it was right here. Okay. Yeah. Definitely need to put something in the spot. Oh, wow. Strawberry, blueberries with yogurt, cantaloupe, and oranges. That's a pretty healthy dessert there. Let's see. In smaller pieces is what I need. That is almost perfect. Don't lose your spot. Little teeny piece there. I'm not always going by what the pattern tells me also. If I think something looks good where I put it, even though the pattern says something else. Oh, definitely. I prefer batiks for all of my art collages because they kind of give me like a watercolor feeling, or they're not so solid in color, if that makes sense to you. You can just get so many shades out of the batiks. That's what batiks remind me of, is watercolors. Yeah, I really need to prep that fabric. Oh boy, getting tired. We have 64 people watching, and I have been on for 2.5 hours. I do not have a petite quilt. Sorry. I have only actually made one petite quilt, and I gave that away. It was a gift. Eggs. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Although I have seen some creators use the opposite side of fabrics, like Susan Carlson does that quite often. So, and she uses a variety of fabrics. She uses batiks, she uses K facet. She loves using K facet. Um, she probably even uses Tula Pink. I mean, there's just all kinds. Just uses all kinds of fabric. So, and a lot of them are, things that have things printed on them, especially like when she's doing fish or turtles. You guys should look her up. She's got some really unique pieces. Okay, Linda, thanks for coming. It's great to see you. Yeah, tomorrow's Monday. Work, work, work. Have a great week. Hey, Melissa, how you doing? Thanks, Valerie. I don't, sometimes I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, but one piece at a time, right? Reorganizing your desk while you watch. Oh, that's always fun. Now, I just hope you can find your stuff when you do that. Hi, Brenda. How are you doing? Oh, no. Found a bunch of glue sticks, but they were all dried up. Yep, that happened. Brandon's feeling pretty good. Oh, I know, right, Joe? Reorganization? That's exactly what I was thinking. I'll never find it again, or it'll be weeks before I find it. Thanks, Brenda. Yeah, it's coming right along. Yep, I'm gonna take a little potty break. Boy, it is really getting hot. You think, Willa? Yeah, it's getting pretty warm and stuffy. Oh, gee whiz, Joe. I found a Tupperware with a bunch of markers. Only one worked. Yeah. I had a container full of pens and markers and pencils and this and that from way back in 1990. Um, from I used to work in an office supply store, so I used to come home with just pens and pencils and all kinds of stuff because well, we got a lot of free stuff from the reps and stuff like that. Anyway, I would say it was probably a year ago or so. I went through that, and none of the pens worked. You know, none of them. Yeah, you got when you those Frexion pens do not last long. That's true. Throw out that old stuff that's not working so you can get some new stuff. Yeah, Melissa's gonna have to go shopping. Yeah, I did that with some markers for the whiteboard. I had a bunch of those too that were they weren't any good anymore. Well, you guys, I think I'm going to call it a day because it is getting pretty darn warm up here. I think I've made a little bit of progress on this, but I really need to prep some more of the colored fabrics that I need. I think I'm going to prep more than I think I need because I can always put it in my tote if I don't use it. Hubby wouldn't believe me if I told him I have to go shopping. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. I will try and come back on live sometime this week. Um, I can't think of anything we have coming up where like no doctor's appointments or anything like that. So that's good. Um, I would like to go do some more fishing, but when it's too hot out there, the fish don't really bite anyway. So I'm just going to start closing down while you guys all say goodbye. And turning out the light. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I really appreciate you being here, visiting with me for a while. Really looks wrinkly now, doesn't it? Just depends on what angle you're looking at and whether the lights are on. Bye, Unknown. I love that name. Unknown. Bye, Melissa. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Joe. Bye, Crystal. Bye, Brenda. Bye, Suzanne. Bye, Valerie. Until next time, blessings to you all. Take care.